Within performance studies, some scholars use a framework or a methodology called practice as research. And although that's a fairly new ideology to me in a formal way, it's something that I think has really sort of influenced or shaped my journey through research here at Muhlenberg. I've had the opportunity to perform a solo performance that I wrote about my experience studying abroad in India. After returning from India, I wanted to, in a different way than I ever had before, understand the historical narratives that I was positioned within. Through my academic advisor, Dr. Jim Peck, that was the first opportunity returning as a second semester junior to actually take that course, which is an introduction to performance studies, and think about the way the field considers questions of identity, culture, and social justice. While my writing of the play continued during my senior year, I began investigating the different historical moments, social movements, and embodiments that had influenced my identity. I created a year-long project on radical embodiments. In the fall, I studied with Professor Roberta Meek of History and Media Communications, and we looked at the radical Black Power movement of the 1960s, as well as how the media was constructing those social movements as deviant. So I worked with Dr. Francesca Coppa from the English department to start exploring different constructions of gay identities and how they've carried forward towards our current politics. We decided to begin in the 1890s in England with the trials of Oscar Wilde and the surrounding context. These critical moments shifted public discourse where same-sex passion was attached to a certain type of person, to a kind of deviant identity. My research is about defining the modern gay male identity, but my medium has become the theater. In this solo performance, I was the character. I was seeing different versions of myself appear on the page and in the performance, so I needed to really understand and contextualize my identity. I've processed what I brought into the experience of studying abroad in India with me, and what assumptions I was making. I was showing the different layers of how sex, money, culture, power come together and inform each other. As the performance approached, I had to switch from processing my experience through writing to sort of step outside of myself, to see in a more analytical way, in a research-oriented way, what I had produced and how we could shape it, trim it, and put it into 60 minutes. I've developed new types of leadership and levels of self-awareness that would have been impossible to find without these research experiences.